Jennica, can you start off with what you just shared?
Yes, I said, listen, I talk fast. Life is short and I have a lot of things to say.
And I couldn't be more behind that statement. That, honestly, end of the episode.
Life is short, talk fast. So I'm like, other people can adjust their settings because I got a lot to get out.
Yeah, exactly. That it's not my problem, it's yours.
Yes.
It's not a me thing, it's a you thing.
We got to keep up.
Yes. Okay, so I cannot believe that I have both of you on for the first podcast that you guys have ever done together.
This is crazy.
This is iconic.
It's very iconic.
Are you feeling good? Are you feeling nervous? Like, how are you doing?
I'm very much of a shy talker, so I feel like it's just going to be like, how are you being like, you need to talk. I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to get out of my comfort zone. I'm definitely going to put myself out there and try to talk the most I can.
You are so wise.
She is. Well,
how old are you right now?
Grown up
16.
Got it.
Mindset, 19.
I would say older than that.
She just really has grown up with
Yeah.
people 15 years older than her whole life. Like,
Yeah.
every situation, she's been to more brunches than, like, some
Anything.
college girls have because she's been going to
that's
brunches
true.
for, like, 10 years now. So she's I've always said, like, by the time that her friends, like, start going and doing things, she's going to be like, you guys, I'm tired.
Yeah, you're going to be so over everything.
Yeah.
And
Well,
she's
last
like, I
year-
can't consume one more brunch.
Last year, I chose to go to like a nice fancy dinner with her and one of her friends instead of my literal homecoming game.
Yeah.
Didn't go.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's not really ever been, like, the super school girl. Like, I love school. And even, like, when I was having a bad time in school, I still, like, had a lot of good school spirit and, like, loved
Same.
the
Me
experience.
too.
And so she's been wanting to go online since she was in, like, 7th grade. And I was just like, girl, I'm not taking your high school experience away from you is kind of how I viewed it. And then, like, her freshman year of high school was a COVID year, so it wasn't, like, a real normal year.
You basically got what you wanted.
Her
I
sophomore-
got enough of a taste, and I was like, yeah, I'm
This
out.
is what I need.
I'm out.
But then her sophomore,
This is my journey.
yeah, it came around and it was just like, she would start choosing things like going with me and my best friend to a dinner on a Friday night over her. Like she's ready, full homecoming gear, ready to walk out the door. And she's like, yeah, I'm not. And I'm like, okay, maybe she actually isn't having the best time.
Yeah, school really isn't for everyone. Especially
Genuinely.
that structure. It really isn't.
And it's just like, I mean, imagine like the stuff they have to go through. Like still, it wasn't that long ago where I was in high school and we still pretty much, we didn't have instant access to everyone after school. Like we had like IMs and like Facebooks and stuff, but we didn't have that like in the moment back and forth with Snapchatting and thing. It's like, it's almost like the drama ended at the end of the school day and like was almost fizzled out the next day for us. With her, it's just like almost picked up after school and just, it's a lot for like any normal high school student to deal
It was
with.
not for me.
So background for those who are listening, Jennica and Annica,
Yes.
when you were pregnant at 13, had her at 14.
Yes.
So what was your high school experience like after that? Did you stay in public school or were you online?
I did.
Okay.
I stayed in public school all 4 years. I am a really good student. So, like, I'm, like, very book smart and was always in, like, advanced classes and stuff. So, like, schooling, I never fell behind. I had her in the summer. I never, like, missed any school. And I knew that was going to be kind of my only hope for, like, surviving this teen mom now life that I had was, furthering my education. So, I really, really just stuck with, I would put like courses in my day that I could get homework done. That way, when I left school, almost like parents leaving a job, like then the rest of my afternoon could be dedicated to her. But I just really still grinded. And like my brother's only 5 years older than her. So like I was the oldest siblings too. So like all my siblings were younger and I could just kind of fit right in with our normal like day to day in our home. And for 4 years of all 4 years of high school, we lived at my mom's house with my siblings and made it work.
Obviously there's this totally different high school experience than most people. Just like day-to-day stuff, like do you feel like, did your like friendships change with people because like you're
Yeah.
probably not doing the same thing as everyone else? Like how did that like really affect the overall experience?
Well, it wasn't a very positive
Yeah.
experience. I mean, if you can imagine like a small town conservative, like little baby town, and then the homecoming queen gets pregnant. Like it was just, I mean, I had like people that I didn't know come up to me in Walmart and be like, "Are you that pregnant girl that was that?" And it's just like, oh my God, what is happening? I mean, I would have like moms be, and it's something I'm like struggling with even as I get older because now I'm becoming the age of some of these like moms and teachers that were so, I mean, evil to me and my daughter and just very brash. And it's like hard for me to now understand, like I would never, even like when she has like little beefs with her friends, I always like smile and still wave because I'm like, I'm 30. I don't care what their issues are, So it's hard for like me to now sit back and realize like how actually like mean women were. But you know, that's all I knew. Like, I still knew that I wanted to be a very involved student, and I still really enjoyed school, and so I wasn't going to sacrifice one for the other. And I knew that, like, me being involved in school was only going to help me be a better mom with, like, getting in better colleges and doing things. So it never felt like I had to choose one or the other. And she would just come to everything with me. I mean, like, she would come to my friend's house and spend the nights with us. Like, she would, the moms that allowed. I mean, you know, there
That's
were a
really
few.
fun.
Yeah, and so, like, she just really, any cheerleading thing we dressed up for, she dressed up in the same outfit, just like Minnie. Like,
Yeah.
she just really got to do a lot more with me. I just chose for her to be a part of everything with me instead of having to choose one or the other.
I love that.
Yeah.
So now, with obviously you guys blowing up and being everywhere on the internet, obviously, Annika, you're not in school, like public school right
no,
now.
I'm not.
But how has that affected, like, your social life for people that are your age?
It's pretty much non-existent, and I love it that way. It's just, it's so hard for me to have friendships with people my age because I just feel a little bit more mature, and it's just like, why are we still doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And so I never found myself being really good at friendships with people my age.
I feel like after you blowing up on YouTube and having that platform, I feel like people were even, like, nicer to her.
Oh,
Like,
for
it
sure.
wasn't-
It never was like
I feel
a
like
bully
people
thing.
think that, like, she gets bullied for the YouTube, but I feel like it was opposite, to where she was having, like, kind of trouble with 8th grade friendship, high school friendships, whatever, and then almost, I don't know, allowing, I guess, people to look into her life gave them a little bit more.
People
like,
just kind of didn't notice me. And then once they were like, oh, we can, like, watch her, it was like, oh, she's actually, like, someone around to be around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I started YouTube when I was 16, so I was in high school. And honestly, people were pretty nice, but this was, like, 9 years ago.
Yeah.
So this was when it was really not cool to have a YouTube channel
totally.
still. And I had friends who were so bullied, they were homeschooled.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I got so lucky. I mean, I love my hometown. I love everyone I grew up with. I got really lucky. And people, obviously, there were a few people who, like, would say certain things.
Right.
And whatever. But for the most part, I had a really good experience.
Yeah. Yeah. So the YouTube's not brought anything negative, which is, I feel like raising a child on the internet is so hard. And one thing that I do think I've always made sure with Annika, because her friends at any age have always, like, followed me before we were, like, and I would never want to post something of my child that, like, somebody else could make fun of, or, like, I've always, like, made sure she was okay with stuff. And so I feel like, obviously, we're still babies at this, and we're still really, really much learning, but her being, like, that generation right below me and me being right above, we can kind of, like, help each other out, like, how to navigate.
Speaking of kids on the internet, that's, like, such a big topic now. And I mean, you're not a kid, you know, but, like, what are your thoughts on, like, posting people on the internet?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if we if we keep our little girls in cages their whole life, like, it's just, I've never felt like sacrificing her, like, clothing choices or whatever, like, for the sake of creepy men is, like, something that I'm gonna do. Like, there are going to be situations where women are talked about in if they're dressed head to toe, like, it doesn't matter. I think as long as you're not showing anything that truly you really think that your child would not be okay with, like, even just embarrassing pictures or tantrum, like, I can't with that. Like, I just feel for the child in that, and sometimes it's a little bit more important to think about your child than what, like, even if it's helping other parents, like, just tell the story instead of showing these videos of. But as far as, like, when they're cute, how do you not, like, take a little cute picture and be like, outfit of the day?
I have a hard time not posting photos of my dog that I think is cute.
Literally,
So let alone when I'm a kid.
I mean, there are just, like, times where Annika, I mean, I used to, like, enter her little picture in, like, cutest baby contests, like, even
I did
before
win.
social media. Like,
I won at the
yeah,
fair.
she did win.
Oh my god, wait, tell me the story. So you...
Yeah, I entered her photo in a cutest baby contest, and there was, like, over 200 babies.
I won.
And
wow,
she
that
won.
should be your Instagram bio.
Yeah.
It honestly should.
2007, probably.
Yeah.
Cutest baby.
Like reigning
Our county
champion.
fair.
Just embellish a little bit, you know?
But, you know, I think that you just have to do what you know best is for your child. I've always said that, like, I'm a good mom, but I'm a good mom to Annika. Like, I parent specifically for Annika. And I think at the end of the day, it just has to come down to that, like, parenting specifically for, like, your child's needs.
That's so beautiful. See, I'm nowhere near being a mom, but you are such a good mom. Obviously, we just met, but just from, like, observing of what I've seen, I just think you guys have such an amazing relationship.
Yeah, I mean, we still fight. I mean, we fought today, this morning.
We did, yeah.
But, I mean,
Classic. I'm 25 and I still fight with my mom.
Yeah,
so, like,
I mean, it's just...
And we want to make sure that we never put out this, like, perfect mother-daughter relationship, because that just doesn't exist. Even in the best, like, relationships possible with mother-daughter, like, we still know how to get under each other's skin. We still know how to like hurt each other's feelings, and communication is so important in any
So important.
relationship. Like we have to be like, hey, that hurt my feelings. Even the way you said, I know you might not have meant it like that, but I need you to know that like, don't say that to me, and we're respectful about it.
That is very good.
But we've just grown up together. Like,
Yes.
I feel like this is kind of almost the only choice we had.
It's just a bond. Like,
if we were going
it's
to make
just always
this work,
been there.
yeah, we have to be together.
How is dating with both of you guys? Because obviously you're way closer in age.
Yeah.
So, like, one, your mom dating, then also, like, you date, she's so much closer in your age.
Or even stuff like one time when she was like 7 at a Justin Bieber concert, and I'm like, we can't both be having googly eyes for this man. Like,
and recently for Jack Harlow.
like I was like
Yeah.
crushed for, and I was like,
That's so
I
crazy.
can't,
Yeah.
I just can't. There can't be overlap because at the end of the day, there's only
So who takes Jack Harlow? then?
Me.
she.
Okay.
She
Yeah,
gets to
I
take
got
him. Yeah, usually He's a younger guy. Like you can
He's
have
mine.
him. Okay, I gave him away. No, but I don't date.
which is
I-
great for me. Love it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want her to, but it's fine because she doesn't, so I can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just stopped dating a long time because I love really hard and I like to give like all of my. I'm totally loyal and
I so see that already.
I just like. I knew that no guy like my age was gonna be that loyal back to me. I learned that the hard way because I dated after I had her. Like I dated throughout high school, but my last like relationship ended my freshman year of college, and it consumed me to a point where I was like not being the best mom I could be even, and I just like had to take a step back and be like, that can't happen again, like that. And I told myself then, literally over 10 years ago now, like I'm going to spend 1 year of seasons by myself. I want to spend a fall by myself. I want to spend a winter, spring, summer. And I spent that year getting to know girls because for the first time I wasn't going out hoping to like kiss a boy or whatever. And that first year, like we had such a better relationships. My girlfriends' relationships grew, and like I was just like, oh, I was happier this year than I've been chasing this like dream that's probably not going to happen for a few years anyway. So like, let me step back from dating and do this. And my girlfriends used to make me go on 1 date a year because they were like, you just can't stop dating. So I started going on 1 date a year, and I was just like, I cannot tell somebody where I'm from anymore. I can't. I have now 2 more years until she's 18. Like, I've got 1 more thought season in me left. But
Yeah,
like, no,
that's
it's
real.
not now. It's not now.
That's very real.
Yeah.
So I'm actually currently in the season that you're in with a year of dating, and then, but the issue is
it's
that
hard to get back in.
you achieve such a high level of peace, a level of peace you've never known.
No drama.
No drama. Like, why would I want to go back to that?
I remember the very first time I got in a fight with a friend that caused my heart to like hurt like it does when you're breaking up or like going through like a really intense argument with someone you love, and it's like, I've not felt like this in forever. But that was like peaceful, but also it's just like, how do I make peace with bringing somebody else back in?
So basically, when Annica goes off to college or graduates or whatever, then you want to have like your thought season.
Yeah, I think I want to get back out there and be like, cutesy for a minute.
Yeah, so how do you feel about this, Annica?
I just personally cannot see it happening. I just can't. Like, the only time I've known you, like, after being, like, a kid and up, it's been you just not dating.
Yeah.
And so that's the only, like, you have known. I've not seen your relationship. I really don't want to. Because I could just not imagine a man walking up to you and just, like, hugging on you. Ew. Ew.
I feel like I feel like any kid is like this with their mom.
Absolutely.
Like, parents, even
yeah.
that are together.
Oh, when my parents got divorced and they started dating, I was like, ew.
No.
Yeah, I had a hard time with it.
So I feel like it's definitely going to come out, but I just can't see it. Like, I can't imagine.
I'm also just, like, not also the type of girl that, like, thinks or expects myself to get married. Like, I truly think that I could live a life of all of the women in my life or have been single for the majority of their lives, too. And, like, I am truly, totally fine with being single for forever. And so I think that also helps because, like, when people ask me for dating advice, I'm like, I feel bad because I don't want to date. And there are people that genuinely, actively, it's hard.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, don't take advice from me because I'm not trying.
When I'll do like a Q&A on Instagram and there's advice, and I'm like, guys, I seriously haven't dated in over a year.
Yeah.
I have and the guys that my long-term relationships, we've broken up. So what advice do you need from me other than to not do what I did? You know?
I feel like the world is such a different world after COVID too. Like even if your last relationship was right before then, things are different now.
Very
things are
different. Very different.
Yeah.
So you are somehow such a gentle person. You're obviously like very maternal, but I mean that in the way of there are some just women in general, like I have friends and I just describe them as maternal. I don't mean this because you're literally a mother, obviously that way, but I mean like the quality of being maternal. And you just seem so wise, and you've obviously been through so much. That's a lot to go through and a lot to navigate at a young age. It's a lot to navigate at any age, let alone 13, 14. How are you like this?
I mean, just where I wanted to end up in life, like I feel like I had a pretty, obviously YouTube wasn't really a thing when I was in high school for sure, but like it didn't make its way to popularity in the South until literally she was like watching, I just talked about this on another podcast. I'm like, I promise we're not like Jake Paulers anymore, but that's when she got into YouTube.
He was my boy.
And that
is it like Team 10 Days?
Oh, like the very
every single second.
Don't
every day. I know every word. And to the diss tracks and following, I know every word.
We would be like out on college like boat party days on like pontoons, and she would get a hold of the aux somehow, and it would go from like our Lil Wayne nostalgia to like it's every day, bro. And I'm like, Annica, please, you never embarrass me.
Crowd fan,
no,
I can only imagine.
They were like, oh, Annica put on the Everyday Bro song.
That is so funny.
Yeah, but so I just knew. I always kind of like toyed with the idea of like public speaking, or I really was like I was really drawn to like the businesswoman. I just knew that I could do more than my situation was wanting me to have.
And you had a story to share.
Right. And I knew that I could tell it. I've said this like literally since the early days of our YouTube. Like I have tried to talk to teen mom groups or high school groups kind of my whole life. And I know that my story is important because it really is hard to have any sort of role model when you, quote unquote, make that big of a mistake in your young life. And it doesn't just specifically have to be teen pregnancy. There are so many things we can do in those adolescence years that really, truly change the course of our life forever. And I did something that changed the course of my life forever. And I still knew that my only way to live the life I wanted to was to make it. And so we just had to.
When Annica turned 13... Was that weird for you?
That was hard. That was really.
And she started doing like all these little talks with me, and I was like, "Mom, chill, chill."
Well, it was just hard because it was like, geez, I was a baby. Like it really. Oh my gosh, I don't want to get emotional, but like it made me almost like
you
pause
can't do
my
it because
feelings.
I'll do it.
Well, it made me like pause my feelings, and kind of for that first time realize like what my mom went through when because I'm sure my mom had to like mourn a Jennica that she thought she would have, but she would prefer this situation. I mean, she's like, even sometimes with my parents, I'm like, hey, I'm stopping by. They're like, is Annica with you? And I'm like, no. And they're like, well, why are you coming? I'm like, oh, I still know her parents. So like my parents they're just great. But yeah. I'm sorry. I cry.
Too.
No,
it's beautiful.
I'm such a crier, especially like because it really just like does take a village, and I would not have been successful without my family support, without my friends. We would have like especially during finals when your college courses are all like messed up, we would literally just like pass Annica around all day. Like,
but it was the funnest time ever for me. Like I didn't realize it wasn't normal. That was just like, oh, this friend's picking you up today. Oh, this friend's and y'all are gonna go do this. I was like, okay, yay.
Yeah, she loved it, and we all had just like weird schedules and like random easy jobs too. So like we were able to kind of pass her around. So it's like I know that as much as I have worked so very hard to make this life for us, like. It wasn't by myself, It was by a lot of women.
So many women. Such a village.
That's also so fun, though, when you're a kid.
Oh, I loved it.
I love being around people or having people around my family. Mm-hmm. Like, when I have kids, I want, like, family friends forever. Yes. I want, like, my siblings involved. Like, that is so fun for a kid.
Yes. And go ahead.
Every single one of her college friends and even friends that she's met, I call them aunt and then whatever the name is. Like, they're all my aunts, every single one of them, because they all helped raise me at some point in some way. So they're all family.
I used to, like, feel guilty for not being able to give Annica siblings, which now she does have siblings with her dad. So we're so glad that she was able to be a sister. But I did feel, like, guilt because I love my siblings so much. I'm like, the fact that I'm not able to provide, like, someone close in age to her, like, used to just crush me. And my mom would be like, Jennica, she has literally an aunt for any occasion of life. Like you've helped her like have relationships with so many different people. And even my brother is 5 years, so her uncle is 5 years older than her, and like a frat bro in college. Like she has access to any type of person that she might need, advice for. And so,
Even more than you would have for siblings.
yeah, right.
He's enough of a big brother for me, and then I have enough aunts that I'm fully covered in any department that I will ever need.
Yeah, so, but it's hard not to feel guilty,
I'm just so impressed by how, mature you are.
Yeah, she's great.
It's crazy.
She really is
I
great.
give that a lot.
Wise beyond your years, truly. Are you strict? How's your parenting relationship?
Can I answer this one?
I mean, go ahead. I'm interested to see what you
I
have to
just
say.
feel like there's no need for you to be strict because there's nothing that I do.
Yeah.
I was going to follow up by saying that.
I feel like if there's a time where I am being strict on something, she knows to be, and she's a questioner. She'll be like, why? And sometimes I have to literally just be like, I'm taking the lead on, no, you can't do, I don't have to explain, no. Because she's so good at arguing. That she will bring
I'm
points
very
to the
good at
table
it.
That I'm like,
Are you
"Well,
a
I never thought
logical
about that."
thinker?
No, I'm just good at arguing.
Okay,
I'm just very good. I've been told that.
It's really actually kind of scary.
I'm
how,
just
Kim,
good at it. I don't know how.
Kim Kardashian says the only person on the planet that she's scared of is Northwest, and it's like,
Yeah.
that first daughter really does kind of, because they're the first person that can put you in your face a little bit.
I'm the first daughter.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
that,
I am too.
definitely.
I am
Yeah.
too, and it's like, but I try to. It's hard because when I am raising her to think her own thoughts and be her own person, but there are sometimes in arguments when I'm just like, I'm the mom right here. This is it. I'm the mom, and she's like, but why? I don't feel like your reason that you gave here, led to this, and this, and I'm like, I understand that, and those are some really good points that you're making, but right now it's just not the time. Yeah, but I do try to give her a voice, and of course she still gets in trouble and makes decisions that aren't the ones that I think she should have made, but
There's no reason to be strict.
there's
necessarily.
she doesn't do anything crazy. She's just not. She's never ever been a bad kid. She's always been calm and clean and organized.
You're not sneaking out.
I did say one time I wanted to be able to sneak out, but I would tell her that I was sneaking out, but it still hasn't happened. I don't think it will.
It really is.
There's
We
just no need to.
compare ourselves to the Gilmore Girls, where it's
Truly.
Lorelai is all over the place, late, doesn't know what's going on, me, and then Rory is Harvard bound, and it's well, eventually Yale, but it's she's got her stuff together. She's like, Mom, we gotta go. I'm like, yeah, that's what's happening here. But it's almost like I've had to be in charge of a household for so long that when I can give the reins to somebody else, sorry, girl. I'm like, go ahead.
Annica, what do you want to do when you turn 18? Do you want to go to college?
I don't want to go to college. I want to immediately move to New York. That's
fun.
immediately what I'm doing, yeah. I'm definitely going to stay there for a few years. I might move to California, Arizona for a couple, but New York is definitely my place. I can feel it from the moment that I got there my first time. It was where knew I was going to go when I turned 18. So no college for me, but there's no.
Well, also it's just so interesting growing up in the social media era. They're really school's great. I went to college, but I didn't need to go to college.
I went to college, and I wouldn't trade my experience for forever, but I ended up having to drop out because I couldn't afford it. Yeah,
it's so expensive. It's also not fully necessary. There are certain jobs that it is necessary.
Absolutely.
And I think for certain people, sometimes the best thing that I think people around me will get out of have gotten out of college is the safety net between being a child to being a real adult.
Right.
And when you don't really need that and you're already making money and doing your own thing too, it's especially if you're not going to become a doctor or something, you know.
Exactly. And I feel like I was very much my education is the only thing that matters to be successful. And once I got to a point where I was this is just not giving me what I can get. I'm given this so much, and I genuinely can't. She was just getting older, and I was I'm gonna have to take a desk job. I can't afford to just be a full-time student anymore. And I never thought that. I never had plans to not go back. And then once I realized, all of the things, even when I was going business, I got in a really good company early, and I was I don't necessarily need to go back and get more debt and finish this degree. I can do this. I can still be successful in this job path without one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, I still want her to do something. I really want her to do a semester at sea.
Oh,
She
that's
toyed
so
around.
Yeah.
I'm that's a college experience. You're in a
Yes.
dorm-like situation, but you're also with so many peers that you're never going to live with that many people your age.
That would be
It's
the
only
only
4 months.
Yeah,
So,
that would be the only possibility of any type of college, and I just wouldn't use the credits that you get from it. It would just be about the experience. But that's the only thing that's on my mind other than New York.
That's so fun though. I know one person who did it and they loved it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel sometimes I should be a little bit more strict with things, but I'm just at the end of the day, I don't even know what I'm doing either. So how am I supposed to be telling a whole other human what to be doing,
I love that. Well, that's life in general. I feel like,
Yeah.
it's motherhood, I'm sure, for everyone. It's leadership. It's like no one really knows what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just incredible. I'm like so impressed by you guys. I just love this. Wait, so Annika, for you, since you obviously were a Jake Pauler, if you will, is that what they call themselves? Like blowing up on social media, has this been like a dream come true for you?
She always was like, okay, let's vlog now. And I'll be like, okay. Like, I never really put it together until we sat down in my room and we videoed it. And we were just talking, telling a story to each other. It's never really hit me until I looked on YouTube one day. It was like 10 million. I was like, oh.
Oh, so people watch this.
I was like, oh, so this is like a thing now. So once that happened, we like kind of had to be like, okay, we have the chance. We got to really take this chance and work with it and make it so that we can have a future with it. And so I was like, okay, we can do that. So we do that. And once we started, we've just not known anything since. And I'm so grateful to have this as my first job. Like, that's just incredible to me.
We also just like have so much fun.
So much
Our
fun.
very first video that we have on our channel, we're like, even if like literally 8 people watch this, like how funny will these be back
What
to
is
go
it?
back
Even
and look?
it's like a Q&A. You're like cracking an egg on each other's head, something like that.
All of those, you know, and we really have had so much fun with it. But I think that our audience sees that. Like
it's very comforting.
Yeah.
It feels like I don't know how to describe it. It's like ultimate comfort.
Yes.
Because it's very apparent how genuine the video is.
Yeah. And I feel like we do have, like, our dynamic is enough entertainment, even if we're being, like, boring. Like, that's been, like, comforting to us because it's like we genuinely, now people do care, too. So I feel like there's, like, double-edged sword from us blowing up so quickly. But because of that, like, we don't really look at numbers because the numbers are so insane to us anyway that, like, we'll notice if, we've got a month that the videos aren't doing as well as other months. But, like, it's blowing up so quickly has allowed us to not be focused on that because we're just so grateful to be where we are, you know.
Mm-hmm. Who like films, who edits, who comes up with the ideas?
We both come up with ideas, I would say. She totally does her channel by herself.
Yes,
like
I just recently started my channel on my birthday, so June 18th.
Yeah.
And we're just about to be at 24,000.
She was just like, I just like
so good.
Not only want to be like Jennica, but she was like, I want to be a high school like YouTuber. And I'm like, well, if you do that, like I don't need to make cameo, like I'll be your mom on there, of course, but like this needs to be fully you. Is that something you want to do? And she was like,
she's not a main character. She's just a character.
Oh, first of all.
You're like, I'm the main character.
I'm the main character for this one.
Before you came in here, too, I was asking her, I was like, I can't believe this is your first podcast. She's like, well, yeah, normally she gets asked.
It's never me, but
here we are.
Well, also, I feel like people really, like, I feel like there's even so many events that I'll get invitations to, and I'm like, I promise, like, even though Annika's under 18, like, that's
the biggest thing is, like, I feel like just because I'm under 18, people are like, she's 16. But I'm like, I have so much potential. Like, just.
Or afraid to ask. Honestly,
totally.
Because I was even, when I asked her, I was like,
legality. I mean, it's just like, I don't know.
I was like, I don't know if that's like overstepping to like ask. Like, I think that might be why.
Totally.
Because obviously everyone would love to have both of you on, you know?
And we're just better together, too.
Honestly, we just feed off each other.
Yeah. I feel like you would not talk much if you were here by yourself.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But I've not had to, like, pinch you under the thing.
Surprising.
So.
Like, not yet, at least.
Yeah.
How do you think being on the internet has affected like each of y'all's confidence? Because especially growing up on it, I started when I was 16, so you've got years ahead of me.
I'm also gonna need you to be a role model for her if she needs because I'm like already like
me whenever.
Anybody that starts
Seriously.
in high school, I'm like, please just help me.
You can call me at any time. Yeah.
I personally think that it's helped me with my confidence because I did not have the best confidence at all, and just seeing how much people enjoyed watching me and thought I was entertaining, like, it does help for you to know that people think you are entertaining. And then, like, I feel like when I look at myself in the mirror versus when I look at myself on the video, I look different, and the video truly was like, oh, that is me, like, that is how I look and how I feel, and that translates a lot more than just looking in the mirror. So it helped my confidence drastically.
Yeah. I don't really think I've ever struggled with
I'm just kidding.
Actually, yeah. I mean, my favorite topic.
I showed up for my 5th grade career day, and people had briefcases and scrubs on, and I had a full ball gown and a trophy. Like I was an actress, and like I'm like,
love it.
I was like, Mom, why didn't you take me to be on the set of Barney? Selena Gomez got her start there. I'm like 7. She's like, Jennica, go back and help your sister. But I just love talking in the camera, and like for YouTube in itself, it's like, this is even better than what I could have dreamt of, anything when I was younger. Like, this is truly just a dream job.
That did take me a little bit, though. It was like talking.
Oh, yeah.
I was very shy, and I just didn't put myself out there. And then as soon as I started being just more myself, it was just more, it flowed and it was more comfortable.
Yeah.
But that did take me a hot minute.
That's so normal, though.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, sitting there and talking to yourself to a camera is
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's not like a normal thing that people do.
And I feel like now that I, am in my YouTube comments so much and stuff, like, I actually do feel like when I'm talking to the camera, I'm talking to friends, I'm talking to people that I am going to communicate with. So that has helped too. But I feel like it's still, even how much I loved the camera, it's
I used to
hard
talk like, hey, how you
and I
doing?
would be screaming over here. So it's like I couldn't even adjust the audio because it's like my voice was way up here and hers was way down there. And I'm like, Jane, get in here now. But also with me like editing, I feel like just with camera movements, you don't realize unless you're watching that raw footage. So, but it's something I had to teach myself too. Like I feel like even with YouTube, it's such social media in general. It's like almost you can't even, what degree would you have? Because this is so
like
new
self-taught.
and self-taught. And I feel
it
like
really is.
the courses of this get put out by the platforms themselves when new stuff happens. And it's on you to like get with the program of the new stuff. So,
and if it's like too overly produced or overly structured, it doesn't do
yeah,
well.
yeah.
And it's not going to come across as organic. I still, like, sometimes if I haven't vlogged and, like, I vlog all the time. Like, if I haven't vlogged in maybe a few days or if, like, sometimes I just feel weird.
I
Like,
would get
I'm
nervous.
I'm not feeling myself. I don't feel comfortable or whatever. I'll just pretend I'm FaceTiming a friend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that fixes that. But, like, sometimes it's weird. You're just in a mood where filming, it doesn't feel like it's really you.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It just feels
Well,
odd.
I never feel like I want to like have to like turn myself on, but I still do. I mean, anytime a camera, I mean, you just kind of get a little pep
the
in
way
your
you
step,
talk to your
know?
teachers is different than how you talk to your friend. It's different than how you talk to your mom. It's different than how you talk to
So
the
it's like
camera.
I'm already like I'm here and I'm ready. I don't want to have to like fake anything ever. And so it's when you're in those moods, it's like, do I just push through this and open this vlog, or do I just wait, till tomorrow and open this? So it's nice to have that flexibility, but also then that flexibility can be like, well, then if I don't start it today, I might not start it tomorrow. It's being your own boss is really, really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
It is very difficult.
Because I've always, since I was 15, like had a boss and a job, and I feel like I'm a good employee. Like I go in and I do what is on the list of things for me to do, but then I tap out. Like I can't put anything. I've loved being an employee because my to-do list is already there for me, and I know to crush it and go on. But here it's like, now you have to make your list, figure out when you're going to do it, go through it, make sure everything's right, get somebody to double check,
And also, like, make your metrics of success and growth on your own. Like, when you're going to work for someone else, you just know you're doing well when you're doing what they tell you to do.
Yeah.
When you're the boss, it's just, like, a weird...
Right, and sometimes I feel like I'm doing so poorly, and really I'm like, wait, I've posted the most videos this month that I've ever had. So it's very hard, like, getting that scale out for yourself.
No, very difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about, like, when you tell Annica, like, at what point, I know probably your whole life that you just, like, knew that your mom got pregnant young, but how did that was there, like, one conversation, or was it just, like, over the course of time?
I remember one time she asked me, like, the very first time she asked me how old I was 19, and she, like, cracked up thinking I was so old, and I was just like, girl, you ain't got no clue.
Yeah.
I never really like even thought twice about it. Like even when it was like the first day of the new school year and we were like, how old are your parents? And I would say like 10 years younger than everybody else. I would be like, oh, like I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
I like this.
I don't feel like it's ever like, once we got out of our first hometown, it's never been like a harmful thing. Like
No.
I've always gotten along with like parents of kids her age, and it's been fine after the hometown move. For sure. Things were a little rougher there.
So when you were 13, though, were you like, wow, like, was it easier to, like, conceptualize it?
For like a little bit, but I still just didn't even really think about it. Like I was like, that's just what happened, but like it's turned out how it is and it's just great. So I don't think of it in any particular way. It was just always fun and great. It's just the mindset that I had because I think
that
normal. She just made it so positive all the time that I never thought of it in the negative way.
We never answered the dating question on your end.
Oh, yeah.
Do we need
Thanks
to?
for escaping that one. No, of course. This is what we'll end on. Let's hear about this.
So
I obviously do not mind if she
are you
takes
gonna let me
responsibility.
answer?
I'm gonna let you answer. But I was just gonna say, this is my only thing is like I don't mind if she like is involved in a healthy relationship.
in saying that, I've not had, like, a boyfriend. Anytime I come home and I'll be like, Mom, I have a crush. She'll be like, okay. It's not going to last long, but okay. And then, like, whoever it is will do, like, one thing, give me an ick, and I'm like, ghost.
Preaching to the choir.
I just, like, I know what I like, and I'm so happy with myself, and she's taught me that I don't need a man, that if it's not something that I feel good in, I don't need to be in.
High school boys just haven't gotten any better than high school boys.
No.
I mean, there's still always going to be high school boys.
So I might as well wait
wrong.
even,
Yeah.
like.
It's honestly, yeah, I actually said this yesterday. I'm currently 25, and if I could erase every relationship that I've had before 24, and I'm not in one now, I would. Like, I would take it all
Absolutely.
back, because all it did was cause harm. Like, that's all it did.
I could take every ex off the table and have a
Every
clean
ex.
slate and be totally, like, it's like, oh, yeah, they taught me stuff. No.
No, and maybe
They
have a
taught me
few
how I
extra
didn't want to be
friends.
treated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they taught, I think I would have figured these things out
Yeah.
just in a healthier way.
Yeah.
I didn't, like, flourish in my life until I stopped having, because I just genuinely, because I was so young too, like, I was like, oh, I'm going to get married young, I'm going to have a bunch of kids young, I'm such a, like, good mom that this is what I'm supposed to do, and then, like, so I was chasing kind of, like, that, like, let's get, like, a guy in here, wait, she needs to have, you know, somebody, whatever, and finally I was just like, I think we're getting more out of just being us.
Absolutely.
Really.
So I've seen from her that I don't need a boy, and anytime a boy does anything,
It's going to be strange.
yeah,
is
the
gonna be
first time that
strange.
you get back in your stage, so you claim.
I'm just not, but I'm not going to, like,
And then the first
date.
time I have a serious boyfriend, and
I'm
I'm like,
gonna
Mom,
cry
can
every
I
single
bring
day.
my boyfriend to Thanksgiving?
Yes.
It's gonna be so weird though.
But see, like, I'm the type of person that I get a grudge and I hold the grudge.
Oh,
and
she
I hold
loves
the
to hold a
grudge.
So you
grudge.
can't, if a friend does something to you, you can't, yeah.
See,
go back.
there's only like one boy that's ever had a grip on me, and I've just been like, Mom, I think I like him again. She's like, no, he did this. I'm like, but this, and she's
But
like,
he's
no.
different now. He's
The last time he
changed.
left our house, I said, see you in 6 months.
And it's been about,
And it's been about
4
6 months.
months.
So-
It's about time for him to come around again.
Hey, listen, I think I learned my lesson last time.
If you didn't, you'll eventually, you know?
Yeah, that's really real.
As long as she's not getting, like, hurt, like, actually, or, like, you know, it is toxic, but you're gonna learn lessons from every relationship you have with anybody.
I feel for you because the way I have a lot of siblings, and the way that I am with my sister specifically,
Yeah.
I don't think the way I handle this is well at all.
Uh-uh.
But I'm very protective of her, and I think to her it comes off as just like maybe more cold, but I
Yeah.
just mean like I care. It hurts me so bad when she is hurting.
Yes.
So it like I'm like, oh, I hate them, like,
Well,
but I
you
can't
can always
hold
see
back. Yeah.
first. You can always see about a few months before
Yes.
the
And
googly
I'm 2
eyes
years
start to see.
older, so I typically
Mhm.
just did it. You
Yeah.
know what I
Mhm.
mean? But it like pains me to no end. So when it's my daughter, I
Mhm.
really seriously need to like read a book on how to let
It's
let
not.
that.
I mean, because my sister and I've never gotten along with any of her boyfriends.
Okay.
And it's
great.
really
That's-
just 'cause
that's
I'm just
gonna
like,
be-
you deserve better.
yeah.
And I'll look at them and say that, you
No,
know?
but to be fair, I don't know if I'll see anyone and think that they
Yeah.
deserve to be with my sister.
Also, I feel like sister even is a different type of feeling than even like mother-daughter, because I do care, like, want her to, but I'm like so cutthroat with my sister, because I
Yeah.
feel like big sis too, also, you're just like, I just know best.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
don't, but you know.
That's very fair. Yeah, that's true. Except for both of us have had our rough times in
Totally.
dating, and both of us have dated good guys at the same time. You know, it's just
Yeah.
It's not that I know everything. I just like
Yeah.
I'm the same, like grudge. I'm like absolutely not, and then I just know like it's
Yeah.
very weird.
Yeah.
She does the same thing with mine. She'll be like, it's not gonna last. And I'm like, but Mom.
Sometimes I'm like, okay, you I see you going on a few dates with him, but it's never any.
Yeah, I've not been on
more
one
than
date.
that.
Yeah,
Not
well that's
one.
not. Hey, I'm 25. I don't go on dates.
I'm like, yeah,
that's
I have no need to.
yeah.
yeah, for
I'm
sure.
so fine at home with my cat watching a movie that I don't
Mhm.
need to go to a restaurant and
Parents-
sit and make little small talk.
Yeah.
You are a dream daughter.
I'm like, if you're worried about your daughter doing anything bad, get them a cat, because she does not want to leave
Oh.
the house.
Wow.
He is my emotional support cat. I take him everywhere. He has a car seat in my car
She
that has his
stalls him.
name.
He's
amazing.
leash trained.
That
That's
is
all you
amazing.
need. That's all you need.
Well, I adore you guys. You are an incredible mother. You are an incredible daughter. This duo is just beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you. For having us
you.
on.
Thank you guys for coming
And being our
on.
first.
I know,
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
so excited. We will do a part 2 next
Yes,
time I'm
For
here.
sure.
Where can they find you?
Well, on YouTube, Jennica and Annica.
And also Annica.
Oh yeah.
Annica
Annica
Jane.
Yes, it is Annica Jane.
And then Instagram, she's
Annica Jane.
I'm Jennica Thomp. And then TikTok's the same.
Nope, my TikTok's
You need
different.
to fix that.
Yeah, I have an old account that has Annica Jane. Now I'm Annica Rogers. It's all a thing. But
Okay, I'll
Annica
put it in the
Rogers on
show
TikTok.
That's tricky.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's my
Like, you
only
just need to
thing that's
get
Annica
one.
Rogers.
Yeah.
You should just get one.
Well, she had Annica Jane when she was like,
Yeah, Annica Jane
They all
technically
have
is my account
Musical.ly.
too, but I can't get into that account to change it. So it's
Got
a very
it.
sticky situation.
Very sticky.
Yeah.
Well, everyone go watch, subscribe, follow, everything. I love you guys. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know by giving it a nice thumbs up and subscribe for more.